The cello is the closest to the human voice that we can get, and so I think it reaches inside the soul and speaks to people in such a meaningful way. I discovered the cello when I was 7 years old. They came to my school and presented the violin, viola, and cello, and I went home and I said, that's the one I want to play. My name is Melissa Kraut, and I am the co-chair of cello at the Cleveland Institute of Music. I am in my 13th year at CIM. I'm also a graduate. The Cleveland Institute of Music is an independent conservatory of music that's coming up on its 100th year anniversary, where we train kids to fulfill their dreams and potentials. Jacqueline Dupre was my favorite cellist growing up. We don't have a lot of women role models in the cello world, but also her passion and her love of the cello was so visceral. We talk about sound a lot in a cello lesson, but as my students will tell you, there's the cello lesson and then there's the lesson. Being a female role model today, that's a big responsibility, and it's also a big privilege, because I feel that I can, especially with women, I can show them the possibilities, but I can also help mentor them and lead them through the process.
What are the possibilities for women?
Ooh, that's a tough question. The possibilities for women, anything is possible, but we need to reframe the conversation, and we also need to rework how we speak about ourselves, even as women in the arts. We need to talk about how women have been excluded in the past and how we can be more inclusive, and how we can look at women in a different light in the classical music world. For example, the famous story in orchestral auditions is putting up a screen so that you couldn't identify the gender of the auditioner. But in other arenas, we don't have a screen, and so often people are thinking with their eyes, or in the case of teachers, expecting a certain kind of teacher because she's female. They think perhaps because you're a woman, you're going to be more nurturing, or you're going to speak in a different way. And yet, we need to be able to have our voice in whatever way we want to use our voice without any expectations.
How can that happen?
I think it happens with people like me and a lot of the other women here at this festival who show and teach how we can do that and be that and embody that. I think some of the challenges are being excluded from the conversation. An example is at some festivals I've been at, not this one of course, where there's like a back room of cigars and whiskey, and you're not supposed to go into the room. And as we all know, deals happen in those situations, and it would be nice if women were included in those outside the workplace conversations. Being a woman in music, there have been times where I've been told, don't be so aggressive, don't talk so loud, don't talk so strongly, don't have so many opinions. And yet, if you don't have your opinions and you don't have your voice, then you're left out. So you're in a situation where either way you turn, there's a challenge.
How do you handle it?
You become authentically yourself and you live that way, no matter what anybody thinks or says about you. Well, I'm hoping that I can serve as their role model and their mentor so that they can come to me and we can together solve some of these issues. I've been expanding into public speaking and also mentoring as part of my career, and I've had roundtable discussions with women where we just put it all out there and we ask questions and we talk and we share ideas, and I think that's where the answers come. And then to bring men into those discussions as well, because when they understand how their language or their perceptions are impacting us, I think things will change.